Hello and welcome back to my What I Watched segment, where I give small reviews on things I don't want to really give big full-time reviews for, but I just want to talk about in some way, shape or form. Recently on Netflix they unleashed the series Rick and Morty, which I have been kind of resisting, but I decided to throw on just to see what it was all about, and I found myself to be absolutely captivated and loved this show. So far I've watched it twice, I'm on to the third time of watching it through. I think it's one of the best things on TV and I just cannot wait to indulge in more of it. The basic story is about Rick, an alcoholic grandfather genius who is living with his daughter and takes his grandson on these wild and wacky adventures. Now his grandson Morty may or may not be mentally incapacitated, it's never quite pointed out completely, but it is nudged in that direction, and it is full of wacky and wonderful scenes that just I couldn't give it justice describing here. It touches on all kinds of movie themes and refers to all kinds of movies that it will tickle the movie fan out there. It steals things from various movies. It could steal a whole plot like it does from Jurassic Park at one episode. It is just excellent, and the humour is ridiculously funny, it's gross out funny, it's just out of left field, and even on the second watch and on my third watch I am noticing things or comments that I didn't notice the first and second times around. So it's a real programme that just keeps giving back to you. There's only 11 episodes in the first season and I thoroughly suggest that you check it out. You may be off put a little bit by the first episode, but at least watch 2 or 3 back to back. It's an hour of your time and I promise you're probably going to love it. Maybe even as much as I did. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And in the run up to Halloween I've been watching a couple of horror movies. So one I watched was The Mutilator, or Fall Break as it's called, and this thing is one of these 80s slashers. I mean, there was a slew of these things at the early 80s and this is just another one to top it off. It's got a fantastic cover art. I thought I'd give it a try, and this is definitely a movie that wants to be two different movies almost. It wants to be a slasher movie and it wants to be a raunchy teen comedy, and it never quite achieves either of them, and it's anchored by this ridiculous theme song that gets repeated throughout the movie, and it just doesn't fit either of these two movies that it's trying to do. The comedy's rotten, for lack of a better word. It's truly terrible, almost as bad as the acting itself, but that's a kind of par on these movies that came out in the early 80s. The acting was never that great anyway. The one thing it does excel at is the kills. It's as if they've put all their creativity, all the budget into the kills in this, and they're actually quite fun. Is it worth searching out and buying? I don't think so. If you can find it in a streaming service like I did, then yeah, check it out. It'll kill some time. What more do you want? Another movie I watched horror related was Slugs. I haven't seen Slugs in years, and it's a pastiche of those giant monster movies kind of thing, and it's basically about slugs that have been messing about in nuclear waste, radioactive material, whatever, and they become carnivorous and they are eating their way through the human population of this small town. Yes, it is ridiculous as it sounds, but it's also very, very fun. The acting, as usual, is completely terrible and looks as if people have just been pulled off the street to act in a scene. But again, it's the effects and the visual effects that are just elevate this thing beyond. They're fantastic, and I remembered a scene with a guy in a restaurant and his head exploding at one scene, and it stuck with me all these years, which isn't a bad thing. You know, if there's something, a scene like that that sticks with you through years, it must have some redeeming factor to it. The movie's silly, it's fun, it's gory, it's ridiculous, it's over the top, the acting's terrible, but I had a good time watching it. And what more do you look for in a movie? So that's what I've been watching. Let me know in the comment box below what you've been watching, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film. So thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you notice on screen, there is 2 more videos that you can click and watch. There is also a large subscribe button at the bottom of the screen if you would like to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film.